How to make 5 to 6 figure money every month by selling articles written by someone else. Hey everyone, welcome to the free giveaways channel. This is Mark Tonkovich here, and today I'm going to show you how to make easy money online through article arbitrage. This is super simple and anyone from anywhere can implement this method and make some serious money online. If you have a computer and internet connection and a basic understanding of the English language, you can easily generate more than $30,000 every month by selling articles that you don't have to write yourself. Someone else is going to write them for you. There's going to be a few different steps involved here, but don't worry, I promise you it is going to be super easy and you can start making money right from today itself. Now, I have decided to break down the steps into bite-sized chunks, so there's going to be a couple of videos in this series. Make sure you check out all of them, and by the end of it all, you should be able to start making some real money online without doing much work. So let's dive in and let's find out how the article arbitrage system works and how you can make 5 to 6 figure money every month by selling articles written by someone else. Alright, let me explain the concept first. We are going to be using two different kinds of platforms in this. One set of platforms is going to be used for collecting orders, and the other platform is going to be used for outsourcing. This is pretty much like dropshipping. You collect orders for a price and then get them completed at a lower price and keep the profits. This method also involves the use of software that completely eliminates the need for outsourcing, and you can keep all the profits to yourself. This software is capable of writing articles like human beings, and guess what? I'm going to give you the software for totally free. So hang in there. Let's first set up the system correctly. Now, as I told you, we are going to be using a couple of different platforms here. The first one we are going to start off with is going to be Fiverr.com. Don't worry, Fiverr.com is no longer about $5. It has changed a lot over the last couple of years, and in this system, we are going to be making approximately $120 to $130 every single day on Fiverr.com alone. It's going to be a piece of cake, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And then we are going to diversify into other platforms and scale up the business even further. So let us first set up the Fiverr account correctly, because if you don't do it right the first time, it's going to be impossible to change things later on. And it is very important that you set up things the way I show you right in the beginning, because that is going to make sure that your orders keep coming in every single day. So the first thing that you have to do is go to Fiverr.com and create your account here. This is easy peasy, anyone can do it. But you have to keep in mind that while creating your account, they are going to ask for a profile picture. I have opened a gig here on Fiverr.com, and here you can see this person has a profile picture here. So you are going to be asked to create your own profile picture as well. Please do not use your own picture, alright? The reason being, you want to tell people what kind of business you are into and what kind of services you are offering. So we have to make use of all the real estate that is available on Fiverr. Go to a website called canva.com, okay? Let's go to that. Here is canva.com. Create an account here, and on Canva, you can create pretty much any kind of design, even high-end designs, using their free templates and drag and drop interface. So go to canva.com unless you are a Photoshop person. I am not a Photoshop person, so I don't use Photoshop. I use Canva all the time, and you don't have to go for the premium version. Canva is free, so you can use the free templates and use their drag and drop feature. So go to canva.com, and there you are going to create a very simple picture that talks about what is it exactly that you are offering. For example, in this instance, we are talking about article writing. This person here is offering articles, and you are going to be offering article writing services here on Fiverr as well. So you could just use a plain and simple bold colored background, and then you could just mention there SEO writing services or writing services, or maybe if you have a portfolio website, which later on you are going to be needing, by the way, you could mention the name of your website against some kind of a solid background. This profile picture is going to help you get noticed, okay? So don't go super crazy and try to create something that looks very cool and stuff like that, because the whole idea here is to try and rank your gigs and get as much visibility as possible. So it doesn't have to be too fancy. Maybe your website name, or maybe the service that you're offering in plain and simple text is going to be working just fine. So go ahead and create your account on Fiverr, and then in the profile picture, put up something that tells people what is it that you are offering in your gigs. And likewise for your username as well. Do not choose an username that does not tell people what kind of business you are into. Okay, so choose these two things carefully. I'm not going to talk too much about these things, but you have to be careful the first time you're creating your account. So be wise and choose correctly. And then the next step is to go and start creating your gigs. This is where you have to be very creative. Now, at this point in time, Fiverr allows 8 different gigs on a single account. This might change in the future because Fiverr keeps changing their rules. But trust me, you don't need 8 different gigs. I personally had 8 different gigs and I had to actually pause most of them, and I was working with just 3 gigs because the workload was way too much for me to handle. So 8 gigs is just fine. You don't have to worry about that. But since we are going to be offering writing services, make use of all the 8 gigs in the beginning. So set up 8 gigs after creating your account on Fiverr.com. Now, what is it that you are going to be offering in those 8 gigs? I'm going to give you a few examples. For example, in this gig here, this person is saying, I will write a high quality SEO driven article or blog post. This person does not tell here how many words he or she is offering against $15 or like they have other pricing options, $35 and $55. So this is pretty much a clickbait. Your customers are going to see this. They are going to know that, okay, this person is offering writing services, but they don't exactly know how many words they are going to be getting for what kind of money. So this is a very clever strategy and we are going to be using this. Now, when you are creating 8 different gigs, the first one could be, I will write high quality SEO articles. The second one could be, I will write high quality tech related articles or technology related articles. Another gig could be, I will write high quality health related articles. Another could be, I will write high quality blog posts, or I will write articles on any topic, or maybe even I will write high quality articles on any topic of your choice. Be creative. It doesn't have to be very fancy. Just make sure you do not mention how many words you're offering in your articles in the gig title. Okay, it needs to be a clickbait because we want people to see your headline and then click on your gig and then get in the description area and then find out more details about your gig. So that is about the title of your gig. Create 8 different gigs, and in all of them, the gig titles have to be very clear on what kind of services you're offering, but don't tell them how many words you're offering. Now, the next step is to go ahead and create these pictures inside Fiverr. At this point in time, Fiverr actually allows 3 different pictures. So we are going to make use of all of them. Now, this person, I don't usually recommend my students to do this. She has attached some sample articles, which is not a very good idea because no one is going to go through this because, you cannot scroll down and look at the entire article. My idea of doing it is going to canva.com and creating gig pictures here, and inside every gig picture, or at least in the first gig picture of all the 3 pictures that you're putting on Fiverr, mention only on Fiverr. Those words need to be mentioned here. I'm pretty sure you must have already seen this on Fiverr, that a lot of people use the words only on Fiverr.com in their gig pictures. This is important because after you have submitted your gig is going to get reviewed by real editors and not bots. And they kind of give you an extra edge, and your gigs tend to rank better if the words are mentioned there. There's no logic behind it, but it simply works. So why not use that? Simply create any picture. For example, if you come to canva.com and let's say this one looks good. We are not going to be using this picture, of course, because it's going to be a writing gig, so this does not fit, but I'm just going to show you an example. So here it says adventure is here. You could simply mention here writing offers, or maybe SEO writing, or whatever service that you're offering in that gig. Write that, and then at the bottom, for example, in this area, you can simply mention only on Fiverr.com. That is going to help you, okay? Now, one more thing I need to mention here. When inside canva.com, you are creating your pictures for Fiverr gigs, please use 550 pixels by 370 pixels as your dimension for the picture, because that is what Fiverr needs. So, and this is easily doable. You can do this right the moment you log into canva.com, and you can hit the button that says customize dimensions, and you can put in these figures 550 by 370 and then create a picture. Don't spend too much time on it. Choose any free template here and then simply mention the words fiverr.com and the exact gig that you're offering. That's it. So create 3 different pictures and then put them up on your Fiverr gig. That is going to cut it. You don't need anything else. So that was about how to set up the picture area. The next thing that you are going to do is talk about your description. Now inside the description area, you are going to get very creative and you are going to actually tell people what is it that you are offering. Here you have options of highlighting your text or making them bold. So use them wisely. And here you are going to mention that you are going to be offering, maybe like here this person is offering 550 words for $15, which is very cheap. And you could do this 550 words, or maybe if you want, you could do this 200 words or 300 words. If you ask me, when I started out, I was offering 200 words for $10. There's a reason for that, because we are going to be using another platform where we are going to be outsourcing our orders, and you have to keep the prices of that platform in mind as well. So 200 words for $10 is a really good deal. If you want, you can use that, or if you want, you can be creative, and you would know how to use this later when I talk about the second platform where we are going to be outsourcing our orders. So hang in there, we'll discuss that in a moment. But in the description, you have to mention the total number of words that you are offering, the kind of experience that you have, if you are a native writer or not. Now, even if you are not a native writer, even if you are not from an English-speaking country, you are actually going to mention inside your description that you have a team of highly trained native writers who are going to write all the articles for the customers, because the platform that we are going to be using for outsourcing actually uses only native writers. So you can mention that inside your gig description. The whole purpose of your gig description is, number one, to tell people what is it that you are offering exactly for like $15 or $20 or $10, and you are going to use the description area to stuff in as much keywords as possible, because Fiverr has a Neolithic ranking system. It's not like Google, which is very advanced. So they still rely on keyword density to rank gigs and, of course, reviews. We are going to talk about reviews in a bit. But in the description area, if you put in as many keywords as possible, your chances of ranking higher are going to go up. So, for example, if you are offering SEO articles inside your gigs, please mention the phrase SEO article, SEO articles, search engine optimized articles, different variations of the same keyword as many times as you can. There's no way you could overdo it, because the moment it goes beyond the limit that Fiverr allows, the description area is going to get highlighted in red, and you are going to be getting a warning from Fiverr that your keywords are way too much above the limit. So you have to remove 1 or 2 keywords, and then it's going to be settling down, and you would know that, okay, this works, and maybe 10 or 12 keywords can be included. So don't worry about doing it too much. Fiverr is going to tell you how many keywords are allowed the moment you try to save the description after writing it. Okay, there's going to be a green save button at the bottom of your page. So after you have written your description, put in as many keywords as you want. Don't bother about overdoing it. And if you've done it too much, then Fiverr is going to give you a warning that your keywords are above what is allowed and above the allowed limit. And you can then delete maybe a couple of keywords, and then it's going to allow you to save the description. So it's very easy. It's very easy. You don't have to worry about how many times you have to put in the keyword. Just put in as many times as you want, and then Fiverr is going to tell you what to do. Please keep in mind that this description is going to be read by real people. So they have to understand what is it that you're offering. They have to understand what is in it for them and why they should order from you and not from someone else. Okay. So highlight those things. Those are some important things that you need to keep in mind. And that's it. You don't have to be super fancy and talk rubbish in this description area. Just be professional, tell people what you're offering, and move on. Just make sure that you put in adequate number of keywords inside your description area. Now, after you have saved your description, the next thing is going to be your package area. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk about this area, about the seller in a bit, but first we're going to talk about the package area. Earlier, Fiverr did not allow these 3 different packages for beginners. You had to be a level 1 or level 2 seller to be able to have different kinds of packages. But now Fiverr allows these 3 different kinds of packages to anyone and everyone who creates an account on Fiverr and wants to sell something. So, and that is good because, you will get more orders this way. Now here we have basic, standard and premium. You can actually change these names. This person has not changed them, but that's okay. So here also we are going to be using keywords. If you notice here, this person has also stuffed in some keywords here. SEO article, you see? SEO article, and the same here. So use keywords as many times in as many different places as you can inside your Fiverr gigs and your Fiverr account. That is going to help you rank better. Now here you are just going to, you're actually going to be offering the same thing. Okay. So this person offering $15, this basic gig is going to be exactly the same as the standard and the premium offerings. But the only difference is going to be, the total number of words and the price. So you are going to do the same as well. For example, if you start with like 200 words for $10 or maybe 250 words for $10, that could be your basic gig. And your standard gig could be 500 words for like $15. Or your premium gig, 1000 words for $25. Now make sure that you offer value for money and you entice your customers to actually choose your premium gigs. And you will understand why I'm saying this later on, because this is going to give you more profits. If you're offering 1000 words for, let's say, $30, your customer would see that, okay, 200 word articles are actually costing more. So if I use a 1000 word article, that is going to help me rank better, rank my websites better. And he is going to choose your premium gig because that offers more value for money. So that is the whole idea here. You are going to push your customer to order this premium gig here. This price is obviously going to be bigger than the other two, but this one is, should be offering more value for money. And that is the whole idea of using the package system, especially in the article writing gigs. So we are going to use the basic, standard and premium gigs, and we are going to put in the total number of words that are going to be there inside each area. And then we are going to select a price. Don't worry about the prices. It's going to be inside a drop-down menu. You can simply click on the drop-down menu. It's going to be in a multiple of 5. And you can choose anywhere from $5 to $1,000 and more. So that option is going to be available. But try not to go beyond $60. My experience says that if you go above $60, it becomes a little difficult to get orders. And your gigs actually, stop ranking. I don't know what's the reason behind that, but it just happens. So keep it below 60 and you should be fine. So that's pretty much about how you set up the package area. And after setting this up, there's going to be another step where you would be asked to put in a couple of questions that your customer is going to answer while ordering your gig. Now, this is one very important area where you have to be very clear on what exactly you want from your customer before you can start working on the orders. The platform that we are going to be using for outsourcing is going to ask for keywords, the topic of the article, the tone of the article, for example, a blog writing tone or a news article tone, or maybe a sarcastic tone or something like that. So after you have finished your package area, you have to create at least 2 or 3 different questions, and your questions would just ask your customers to provide you with a couple of keywords, if possible the headline of the article, and most definitely the topic of the article, and also the tone that he wants. Okay, because you don't know what your articles are going to be used for. So this guy could be using it as a news item, or he could be using it on a blog which has a lot of engagement. So the tones are going to be different. So make sure you know what your customer wants, and that is possible by asking him questions. And you are going to do that in the next step, where you can just put in 3 different questions or 4 different questions, and your customer is just going to answer those questions for you when ordering your gig. It's very simple. So that is pretty much about what you would be doing here. And then finally go ahead and save your gig and submit it for review. Now, one more thing which I left out is this area here that talks about who you really are. Now, you need to understand that not a lot of people are actually going to go through your profile and find out about you, okay? But this area is actually going to help you put in some keywords which are going to help your gigs rank better. So inside this area, you're definitely going to be talking about yourself, but please make sure that you also include some keywords. For example, you could say that you have this and this qualification, you have been working as a writer for so long, or you have been working with this and this writing company. Or as I do it in my gigs, I simply mention that I have been working as an editor for this and this many years. I have so many writers on my team, and all of them are native writers, and we've done everything from SEO writing to dissertations and theses and everything. But I also make sure that about the seller description has a good number of keywords that help my gigs rank better. So use that to your advantage, okay? Every real estate that Fiverr gives you has to be used to put in your keywords, because that is going to help you rank. So that is pretty much about how you're going to be setting up your Fiverr account and your gigs. Please make sure you set up 8 different gigs and then submit all of them one by one within a day or two, okay? Because that way, all your gigs are going to get approved, and the moment your orders start coming in, you would notice an influx of orders inside all your gigs, okay? And then later on, you can calculate and find out which gigs are getting more orders. You can just keep doing those gigs, and those gigs which are lying dead, which are not bringing in too many orders, can simply be paused. But in the beginning, you have to make sure that all your 8 gigs have been launched and submitted for review. But don't postpone this and, kind of do 2 or 3 gigs and then come back later after a month and then 3 more gigs. Don't do it that way, because that kind of messes your ranking system. Ranking is once again very, very important here. If you don't rank on Fiverr, your gigs are not going to get attention. You are not going to get orders. So do this. It's going to take a few hours. I agree to that. But this is a one-time job. You do it once and then it's going to keep making you money for the rest of your life. So set up your Fiverr account and set it up correctly the first time, so you don't have to come back and try to edit things and change things later on and resubmit for review. Okay? That's pretty much about how you're going to be setting up your Fiverr account. Thank you. I would see you again in my next video, where we're going to be talking about the next platform that we are going to be using for outsourcing. So, cheers.